Hey, 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 beautiful, beautiful, beautiful twin flames. I'm so glad that you could join me today here at Tarot for You 444. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Australia, and although I'm dressed like a woolly bear, it looks like the sun's going to come out today. And of course, we're coming out of winter here and we'll be in spring soon. So for those of you who've been following me for a while, welcome back. Thank you for always being here and supporting me. I can feel your energy through the channel, and I have been very lucky enough and blessed enough to work with some of you, and I've seen massive shifts and changes within many of you who are on the twin flame journey. And I also thank you for the emails that I get in support of my channel. I am also highly, highly grateful for you connecting with me and telling you, and I'm just looking at a candle over there and it's got this huge, huge flame. It's really cool. I'm very grateful for many of you telling your stories to me and trusting me and, with your private twin flame journeys. Okay, and so if you didn't already know, I've been working with twin flames now for some years. I've helped many twin flames get into union, first and foremost with themselves, and then into union with their counterparts. And it's very gratifying to see the shifts that occur in people on the journey, and the epiphanies that they have, and the realizations that they have. And a lot of the time I muck around and I joke around and I have fun on my channel. But behind all of that joking is, of course, a message. And sometimes that message needs to be heard in a less serious way, because many of you, especially divine feminines, this also does include divine masculines, but many, many divine feminines have been through trauma, have been through some kind of issue, whether that's been in their childhood or whether that's in their current life or circumstances to now. Many twin flames are married or in relationships already, and then they meet their twin flame, or it's the other way around. They're single and they meet their twin flame, but their twin flame has a karmic partner or something in the way of the connection. And of course, these blocks are there on purpose to see whether or not love is going to win. Can you look past the cultural differences and let love win? Can you look past the locality differences and let love win? Can you let go of all of your expectations to the journey and let love win? Can you realize that you're strong enough to get through any block that comes between you and let love in? And so these are some of the things that twin flames are working with all of the time. Many of you can't see your twin flames because either you're in a relationship or they're in a relationship, and so it's very difficult to get to one another. The other thing that happens is, like I mentioned, is the locality difference. Some twins are in other parts of the world, and some twins may live close by, but there are other blocks in the way, like family or work issues. There are also many cultural differences, religious differences, and other things, including language differences as well, which can be barriers to the twin flame journey. And so the test here is, oh my gosh, that candle's like this big. It's so cool. And so the test here is, can you get past all of that? Can you love your twin unconditionally, no matter where they're from, no matter what they believe in, no matter what kind of naughty stuff they may have done in the past or how they've treated you in the past? And this is the test of unconditional love. It's the biggest test you'll ever have of unconditional love, because you kind of don't get to choose who your twin is. if you know what I mean. So instead of doing a tarot reading today, I wanted just to talk with you on some important topics which I feel that are going to be relevant. Okay, what I've noticed lately, and throughout the twin flame journey, for many years this happens, is that there's this awakening that occurs within us, and then, you know, we start to know things that we've never known before. We start to awaken. We start to perhaps realize that we live in a matrix kind of system, and, you know, a lot of people are walking around with their eyes closed in a system that is broken, really, and is not focused upon love. You know, it's more of a money-based world that we live in. And so I was thinking the other day about this. You know, when I was a little girl, you know, I was very, very lucky to feel love from my nana in particular. And she gave me so much love that I kind of felt like I was wrapped up in cotton wool to some extent. And I can remember when I can remember going to kindergarten and having great experiences there. But then I can remember going to primary school and feeling really out of my comfort zone because there were so many different types of kids around. And those kids, some of them were quite nasty. And some of them were lovely, and some of them were nasty, and some of them were quiet, and some of them were loud, and some, you know, like normal people are, I guess. But I can remember feeling, because at that time I lived with my nana, but I can remember feeling how much I wanted to get home to my nana, to my comfort zone, because I knew that, you know, she would welcome me with open arms. She would love me with open arms. You know, perhaps, you know, she never ever would say a bad word to me. And I noticed that some of these kids that I was hanging around with were really quick with their words, really smart with their mouths, really there to just see what reaction they could get by saying a mean word, not just to me but to other kids around. And I can remember when I saw a disabled girl being bullied, and I can remember that I had this feeling inside of my stomach, but it was a little bit higher, so I guess you could say, you know, in my solar plexus area, if you know about the chakras. And the solar plexus, of course, sits above the navel or above the belly button. And I can remember thinking, oh, that really hurts. You know, even though they were hurting her, and she was somewhat older than the other kids. She was older than me as well, but because she was disabled, they were really giving her a hard time. And I can remember feeling that it was like poison arrows, you know, inside my own body, but for another. And then a really funny story is I was at school and we were playing chasey, you know, where you run after one another and stuff. And we did it kind of like there were girls and boys at the primary school where I went to. And this one boy, he was really, really fast. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to hide in the girls' toilets for a while to have a little breather because he can't come in there. And he's really quick, and I don't want to be the last one that's it, because then I would have to be it and chase everyone else, you know. So anyway, I can remember looking, you know, peeking around the door and thinking, oh, he's not there. And of course he was, and he saw me around the other corner. But as I'm still gonna, excuse me, I can't stop coughing because he had such yucky energy. because the next bit is really terrible what he did to me, right? I ran around the corner and him knowing that I was there. Let me just have a drink. I still hate this story. Wow. As I'm telling you this, I'm getting rid of his yucky energy off of me. It's funny. But it's funny because he was only little, of course, you know, about 8 or something, you know, 8 or 9 years old, I guess he would be. So he comes around the other corner and I come around this corner and he sees me and he kind of knows that I'm going to go back around the other way, back into the girls' toilets. And of course he can't touch me there because it's like a safe zone. And so he can get me, because, you know, you have to touch the other person in Chasey, right? I don't know how he did it, but he spat a few meters and it landed in my hair, and this big hunk of disgustingness that came out of his nose, because he did one of those really big bikey kind of blows, and he spat in my hair. And I can just remember standing there feeling absolutely horrified that this boy had spat in my hair. And I looked at him and I had so much rage inside of me. I didn't know, like, I knew I couldn't catch him, but I thought, how dare he? How dare he touch my energy like that? How dare he? You know, and I was this little 8-year-old girl with, I think my fists were like this, you know. And then, of course, all the other kids were still running around and the bell was going to go. And so I thought, oh my God, I've got this stuff in my hair, I've got to get it out. So I was in the bathroom trying so no one saw, you know. So there's 2 different feelings here I wanted to mention. When I saw the disabled girl being bullied, I felt like poison arrows in my solar plexus. And of course, the solar plexus is the power center, the true power center of us all. You know, that's where we can feel if our strength's being taken away or someone else's strength is being taken away. It's also where grief can land. If you're feeling grief, it can really, you know, hit hard in the solar plexus area. And of course, my anger was felt all over my body. In particular, though, I felt the same solar plexus energy here pushing outward. Wow. This little boy, I hope he's had a beautiful life and didn't spit in anyone else's hair. But, you know, as I felt myself get angry, I could feel my solar plexus, my power, pushing out to him, right? You know, and of course we can't see energy with our eyes, but we can feel energy. And so as I pushed this energy out to him, his face was kind of like, whoops, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And he ran the other way. So the solar plexus can feel this pain, and the solar plexus can also dish out this energy from it, you know, when we're feeling strength. And of course, both of those are off balance because, you know, if you're getting hit in the solar plexus like poisoned arrows, I would say it feels like that. You know, it's not good, because within this, you can start feeling a really low self-esteem, a feeling of not knowing what to do, a feeling of, I guess you could call it angst. And if it's overactive, you can become a bully, you can become stubborn, you can become overactive, and then you can kind of send those poison arrows in one go when you know, yell at someone, get angry at them with your fists because they spat in your hair, right? So neither of these are healthy. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is with the chakra system, we can have energy coming at it, or we can push energy away, and neither of these are healthy, because we literally just want the energy around us to be spinning. If any of you have done Reiki, you'll understand, the spinning nature of the chakra system. And so instead of feeling and holding on to pain, in the case of that disabled girl that I saw that day, we want to let it go through us as if we are a jellyfish. Okay, and in the case of being really, really angry, it was kind of okay because I was angry for a minute, but you don't want to get so angry that you're pushing out your negative energy and hitting someone else with it, because then they're going to experience the poison arrows, right? And as we know, we do live in a karmic world, and there's that song. Who sings it? I don't know. What goes around, comes around, goes around, comes around, back again, back again. I don't know. Some of you cool divine feminines know what these songs are called. I just kind of channel them, and I don't even know what they are sometimes. But what goes around comes around. And I guess if you're into tarot, the Wheel of Fortune can, really explain this well. And I'll show you this card because, that little boy sent me some of his poison arrows, and I sent some straight back to him. But that's not the way we need to be. It's not, we don't kind of live in a society, or we shouldn't live in a society where it's an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. If someone pisses you off, doesn't mean you have the right to piss them off. You know what I mean? Because the karmic wheel is always going around. And of course, if you believe in God or Allah or Buddha, or whoever you believe in, they're watching too. Okay? So every deed that you do or don't do, you might say, is seen by the unseen. Okay, so when I find this card, here we go. We have the Wheel of Fortune here, and this is a representation of the karmic wheel, and quite often it comes up upside down. Okay, and this would denote, an unlucky cycle, a bad luck cycle, a karmic occurrence going on. All right. Notice how in the upright, we have the Sphinx here, the angel, and I think that's a phoenix there. And they're reading, a biblical text here, the Bible, the Quran, something, biblical or knowledgeable, we should say. We don't have to bring religion into it, but it does look like that it would be a spiritual text here. Okay, and the Sphinx is also holding onto the sword here, representing having mental capacity to not overthink everything, but to know and have clarity. And then it's quashing the devil, pushing the snakes down, the poison down, and the wheel is on the devil. We've quashed the devil, the bad behaviors, ego. Okay, and then down here we have just for fun, we have a cow with wings, and I think it's a lion with wings. Strength and also I don't know, a cow isn't as strong, it's more forthright. It stands, it's heavy, it knows what it's doing. But this is protecting your own karmic wheel. And if you are enlightened in any way, you will know that your actions have consequences. And so what you do to another, you do to yourself. And this is a big lesson here today. What you do to another, you do to yourself. And I kind of wonder if that guy got his hair spat on. Maybe his wife currently spits on his hair when she's pissed off with him, you know. Maybe that's his never-ending karma. I hope not, of course. That's but it would be funny, wouldn't it? She's like, I'm so pissed off with you, Gary. And she just goes and spits in his hair every time. Every time he doesn't put the trash out, she spits in his hair. All right, these stories are funny. Anyway. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention is I've talked about the solar plexus and how important it is because it's your power center. If you are feeling pain in the solar plexus, it's either because there's been poison arrows, which I like to say are energetic, sent to you. You know, someone could have envy over you, someone could have sent you bad vibes, you know, someone could have, you know, you could have a karmic partner that says something rude to you or mean to you, and you feel that pain there, and you think, how do I get rid of that? And for those of you who have been through any kind of trauma, you will also be feeling, not all the time, but sometimes you'll be feeling an uneasiness in your sacral chakra, which is underneath your belly button. And this is where trauma sits. This is where guilt sits. This is where shame sits. And you may feel very unloved, sexually inadequate, frustrated, fearful, shy, or even unsure when this is out of balance or underactive. Okay. If it's overactive, you may be bossy, domineering, have a big ego, and even be violent or angry. Okay, so the sacral and the solar plexus are very close to one another, and sometimes they intermingle with one another, and you might just generally feel that you could have stomach issues. You may have issues also. I'm going to just specifically talk about the sacral, and then I'll go back to the solar plexus, but you may have issues with your lymphatic system, your adrenal glands, or your female reproductive organs if you have sacral chakra issues. For the solar plexus, you will have perhaps nervous system issues like anxiety, perhaps. This also extends out to any kind of nervous system disorder, or large intestine, liver, or pancreatic issues for the solar plexus. And so it becomes exceptionally important to take care of the chakra system, because the chakra system, if left to its own devices, right? If you don't feel balanced, you know, if you feel like you're being hurt in some way by others or situations that you've been through or any kind of traumas that you've been through, that energy can remain stuck in the chakra system. Okay. And it's very important that we clear this and get rid of this on a regular basis. Otherwise, it can cause actual physical symptoms. And this goes for all of the chakras. So I just wanted to talk about these two specific chakras today, because if these bottom ones are blocked, as we know, the chakra system energy moves upwards, you know, from the root up to the crown. Okay, you can look it up. You can just literally Google chakras and then images, and you can, it'll show you where they all are. Okay, but the energy flows upwards. And so what can happen is, if the bottom chakras are blocked, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, it then blocks off the heart space. And once the heart space is blocked, this is when we can have huge issues. Okay, because the heart chakra is also coincides with the heart, and the heart is what pumps blood around the body, and it's also what needs to be remaining open for the twin flame journey. All right, So if you feel like you've got issues with your chakra system, you can do my Ascension course, which will focus on this, so that you can, it doesn't just focus on that, it focuses on the whole system, the mind, body, the emotional core, the chakra system, and more. So that's available in modules, all right? And it's a day-to-day living practice on how to keep yourself clean, all right? In all ways, as an entire system, okay? Because you're not just a body, you've got a soul as well. You are a spiritual person. You have a chakra system which is affected by the energy around you and within you, okay? And that's really important to know. Many people make themselves sick by holding on to energies from past, okay? And many people also make themselves sick from allowing things around them in their environment, whether that's at work, at home, or with family, to affect them as well. And if you don't know how to get rid of these energies, then it can be, detrimental to your health, and it can also be detrimental to your spiritual path, okay? We want you to have a clear path as possible when you're on the twin flame journey, and when you know how to deal with these other elements and deal with them in everyday life in a practical sense, with literal steps on what to do and how to live, then you can come into this different state of knowing. And you don't, the best thing about it is that you don't think that everything's happening to you. You'll be in control of your own life, okay? Which is really important, with God's grace, of course, okay? So, I'm channeling a song which may be relevant to some of you, and I will share it, and I'll try and link it to this video if I can as well. It's called Pretty Friend by Frente, and I'm going to read some of the words out to you, okay? And for each of you, it'll have a different meaning. So I'm just going to read them, and then you can decipher what it means for you. Okay, so it's called Pretty Friend. It's a bitter pill, and it's hard to swallow. She could take the lead, but she'll never follow. The bed of roses turns to nails. The best laid plans always fail. Everybody's got a pretty friend. The words they buy, the time they spend, good night. There's a girl I know with a poison rose. He's gonna bring her, I suppose. Everybody's got a pretty friend. The words they buy, the time they spend, good night. So this particular song is sung as the woman watching the man that she's in love with another woman. And it says here, where are we? Let me just go back to that for a moment. Yeah, there's a girl I know with a poison rose. So she knows that this girl is poisonous for him. And then she says, he's going to bring her, I suppose, to the party or wherever they are. And then she says, everybody's got a pretty friend. The words they buy. Okay. So the words they buy is as in they're using their words to get themselves somewhere. They're not genuine words. And then at the end she says good night. In other words, she wants to go home and not be in that situation. She can't watch the love of her life be with this poisonous woman. Okay. So for some of you that will resonate, for some of you it won't. For some of you it'll have a different meaning, and you may have an epiphany or something like that regarding that. Okay, I've made this one a bit more of a longie today and rather than a quickie. And I also wanted just to quickly say that I'm now doing energy clearings. Okay, I've had a lot of emails regarding this, and if you feel in any way, shape or form that your energy has been compromised on the twin flame journey, I can remove negative energies away from you with what I do, and it will not affect your energy in any way at all. It'll just remove the energy off of your energy. Okay, so if you were questioning that, you know, it's not like Reiki where someone else is kind of, or not Reiki, but I'm not going to say Reiki. I'm going to say, you know, other healing modalities where people are in your energy, you know, flipping around in your energy. And I don't do that. I don't want to go into other people's energy. Your energy is your own. And, you know, I would never suggest allow him, there's my coughing, don't do that. In my opinion, I would never let anyone else touch your energy. Okay, your energy is sacred to you only, and of course to you and your twin flame. Okay, and then we have that divinity triangle here. It's a love triangle with the divine at the top. Okay, so let me just do my bad drawings. Okay. I don't know what God looks like, but I think he might look a bit like Harry. Does he? Look at that. All right. Divine feminine, divine masculine, take gender how it resonates for you, of course. But this is the only love triangle we want here. Okay. That's the love triangle. As they both look to their creator, the creator shines blessings down upon the twin flames. And of course, as you give love to your counterpart, they can give love to you, and then they can give love to the creator, and the creator can beam it back down. I say beam it down like he's on a spaceship. Maybe he is. It hasn't been proven any different. And of course I am joking. Okay, so I will link that song Pretty Friend by Frente. And I may make another video today a bit later on if I get time. But a quick list of services so that you know. I was mentioning the Ascension package. That's now available in modules, so you can do it in little bits, so you can pay as you go. So it's not this big expensive thing where, you know, oh my God, it's too much. All right, I do private readings, either 30 minutes or 1 hour, and you will literally get a video of me talking to you for as long as you want, either 30 minutes or an hour. Okay, that will be twin flame, soulmate, or general life path readings. Okay, then I do energy clearings, which takes 12 hours to do. They are available too. And I also have a how to create your own online business course, which is nearly ready to go. That's also available in modules, in 4 modules. I have the WOW package, which includes the Ascension package with your manifesting your twin flame video, a 1 hour instructional video with the absolute best secret that you've never heard of before, how to manifest your twin flame, energetically speaking. Okay, And then, of course, I have that available on its own as well, manifesting your twin flame. And that's all at the moment that I have. But if you've got other things that you want me to have that you think that you could benefit from, let me know. But I will say those who've done my Ascension package and the Manifesting Twin Flame Union are coming into unions now. Okay, and some of them only did it a month before, and some of them did it about 3 months before, and now they're in union with their twin flame. So it does work. There's also been twins that have walked away from the journey after doing the Ascension package because they realize that they didn't want to be on the twin flame journey anymore, and that's, you know, okay too. Whatever you want to do. If that's all you remember out of all of what I've told you today, this love triangle is between you, your twin flame, and God. And any blocks in the way is why I'm here to help you. So if you've got a block in the way, you know, if someone's married, if you're with a partner, if your work is in the way, if your location's in the way, if your culture's in the way, if your language is in the way, if your children are in the way, as in standing in the middle of both of you, send them to bed early with a cup of tea. And then you can have some fun after they've gone to bed. Alrighty, I've gone on for long enough. This has been a longie today. Here's Cookie. That's kind of addictive to do that. I love you all very much. I hope that you've gained a little bit of insight today with what I've spoken about. Let me know down in the comments section if it resonates for you or if it doesn't. And I will see you very soon with a new video. And don't forget to contact me for any of my services. In the description box below is my email, and also all of the prices are there as well. So there's no guessing. Okay? So you don't have to guess. It's all down there. Okay. Bye. Mwah. Bye.